Okay, we're rolling. I am here with Paula, and we are diving in and just going to see what's up for you and apply whichever map or process seems to suit. So give me a sense of what's top of mind. We're end of April, so we're sitting here on April 30th about what's up at April 30th, right?
No. Well, yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much because this has been a roller coaster ride so far. In the beginning, I was like, I didn't realize it would be so long, and I was like, yay, I get a break. That lasted a few days. And then I realized, I don't have this, my business is gone, and I need to do something else. So I sort of panicked. I guess I panicked. I don't remember but in retrospect, it was maybe panic. I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn the whiteboard videos because I had made some in 2008 or something, but I didn't know how anymore because all this, my software was obsolete, and
So you're from the community I merged out of, which is graphic recording, graphic facilitation, and that's how you've been earning your keep, being in there in in-person meetings, and that industry is on huge hold right now. So
all my jobs went away, and I was like, the real-time events, I don't know when they'll ever come back, so I need to come up with an online offering. So
and that makes sense to move into the whiteboard videos. So
okay. I got to do it. But I went into some weird overdrive where I watched all the video, YouTube tutorials, and I didn't realize I was stressed until I started having a hair loss event. And I was like, I'm so out of balance. My hair is falling out. So I'm now more in balance. I'm still working hard. So there's that. That's one track. I mean, the reason I was so excited is because I was like, this is great. I can do all the things I've been wanting to do that I haven't had time to do. One of which was paint, and the other of which was start a coaching business. And that's the one, like, I get excited about it and I start and I was like, I mean, I'm a certified coach already. I just haven't, there's something that's been hard for me in terms of, and I can tell myself, I was going to say, in terms of creating it and putting it out there and actually launching it. And I can tell myself that it's because I haven't had time. And it feels very true that while I was graphic recording, I was always flying somewhere. I wasn't for very often at a time.
Yep.
By the same token, there's like maybe some inner lack of confidence or something. And I feel like I'm just now getting that inner ground to stand on. And like yesterday I thought, well, I'll just start writing every day, just get out because I haven't formulated, I feel it's in my body, but I haven't formulated how is it going to, what kind of structure is it going to have, how am I going to offer it, what am I going to offer? And so I thought, well, just start writing and see what comes out. And I did that yesterday, and I was actually really happy that I'd started. I was like, just start. And then that night, this other voice came in and said, oh, maybe it was the next morning, I can't remember, because I got really sick for some reason. I got an earache. It feels better now, but that's why I almost missed our session. And this voice came in, it was like, oh, you're never going to do that. Why makes you think you can do that? That old voice of discouragement versus encouragement. And so I guess I realized I'm going to have to manage that. But mostly, so I have to manage the discouragement, but mostly it's like I really somehow need to believe that it's possible that I can do that I can bring something out, and it doesn't have to be, it's not new, none of it's new, it's just my version of it, It's my version of the perennial teachings that I've been exposed to on my path. And there's something just so vulnerable and so, I guess, scary. I've been scared to step out and say, this is, I'm a coach, I can help people. And now I feel ready, but I guess I'm still scared. And so and meanwhile, I'm actually more busy than I've ever been before. Now I'm in survival mode, trying to do this other stuff that's exhausting. So but I don't want that to be my excuse, because it'll just be another excuse. Well, I was going to do it, but then, the pandemic, and I got so busy trying to survive that I didn't do it again. So.
Okay, I'm going to stop you.
Yeah. So that's my
thank you.
map.
and now I know there's 2 entry points that I hear in this and feel in this. So let me just kind of give you what my gist is, and then we'll see if that fits as an approach. Okay? So the first thing I was struck as soon as you said my hair is falling out, I kind of wanted to just stop right there and just like, let's take a breath and let's really give some space to, oh my God, your hair is falling out, right? Like, that's significant. So even as saying that, I just want to like breathe, right? And create some space on that. So I'm also, after that, I heard I'm exhausted. And there were some other things in there too that were very like indicators, right? Of just, that's the first thing, is to address those. And not address them like we're ticking them off, but give space for them, enter into that. The rest of it, it's kind of like, don't even try, because you're trying to build something on top of a foundation that's not going to be able to hold it, because there's stress and exhaustion and all that. So there's nurturing and love and self-care and multiple things that need to occur. Once things are taken care of in that way, and the outer world starts to show itself, because we're still in shifting sands here, right? So not only is there inner sands that are shifting, there's outer sands. So, trying to flog oneself or make oneself build something when the inner and outer sands are moving on you is a very stressful situation. And what's going on. So I think the first thing is to just do more of an inquiry approach. And I'll lead you through, there's been one example of this so far on the sessions that have been recorded and shared, just to demonstrate to people the various things that they can do. It's parallel processing, basically, right? People do as they watch those of you who are so heroic to do your work in front of people. So that's the first thing. We're going to do more of this unity kind of consciousness being inquiry work. And that might be all we need to do or should be doing. My coach mind has also got the bit about, hey, there's the desire or a vision around a coaching business and the perennial knowledge, right? So I'm holding on to that. That's more in the left brain and the do side a little bit, but then I'm hearing that there's right brain, there's some sort of resistance or yeah, but, or lack of confidence or whatever, right? Which might be more than the exhaustion and the stress. So there might be multiple layers. So I'll go there second, if it seems like that's where it's going to unfold in the session, right? Because the first thing might be the most important priority and what we spend the time with. But I don't know, I'm working with you and your higher wisdom and subconscious here, so it's going to direct us. It's going to show us, and we'll both go in as explorers and see. So I guess that's my proposal. Are you game to?
That sounds good. That sounds perfect.
Okay. So let's both just take a couple of breaths and do our best in the midst of unusual circumstances, right? To just sit here and breathe for a second, get present. So I'm just going to invite you for various things here. Probably have your own way of centering, but just bringing focus to the breath. And sometimes I find it helps to become aware of the body, particularly you're sitting in that nice chair. So feel your sit bones encountering the chair. Notice where your feet are. Great, uncrossing legs, whatever you need to do to get comfy. Notice your hands and just let them drop and relax, and shoulders doing the same thing. And the whole thing here is just allow whatever is to be. And to just meet it. And the famous perfect words are, you are welcome here. So as you start to kind of settle into yourself, Notice what comes up, whatever it is. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. But if you do feel comfy sharing, let me know what it is, and I'll be jotting that down, and I'll help you to just be with it.
Well, the first thing that comes up is the feeling in my shoulders. It's almost like they don't feel tense, but they don't feel relaxed either.
Okay, so that's perfect. So you notice the shoulders. So just go in and notice those shoulders in the exact way that your shoulders feel. And basically say or project your shoulders and that particular blend of feelings, sensations. You are welcome here. I see you, I feel you, you are welcome here. And sometimes, not always, but watch for it. As you welcome it and as you be with it, you may just have to continue to be with it, but sometimes it shifts. The consciousness shifts to something else. So just notice if it leads you somewhere else after you pay attention to those shoulders.
Well, I guess there's a fullness in my belly.
So fullness in the belly, you are welcome here. Just really enter that fullness of the belly.
And I can feel some, I guess, sort of tiredness and around my eyes.
Go into that, feeling that tiredness around the eyes. And the magic words, you're welcome here. Eyes, your tiredness, I'm here for you. You're welcome here. See, your kitty cat shows that the animals love it when the energy shifts. Hi, sweetheart. And don't worry, you'll see the graphic later. Sometimes people are like, I want to see what she's doing. But with this particular one, it's good to be in there. Yeah. Okay, so stomach, you're in there. Or eyes, we're in the eyes now.
Eyes, yeah, well, you're welcome. It's almost like they feel I don't know if they look red, but they feel like they do when they get a little bit red.
So eyes and redness, tiredness in the eyes, you are welcome here. Just really be in relationship with it. Don't ignore it, right? That's what a lot of us are doing right now is we're pushing away all these sort of things. Nah, I got to get into it. I got a business to figure out. I got to coach. I got to make videos. I got to, yeah. And not that those are, we should also say to that, you are welcome here, because that's the mind, right? And the doing side is it's survival. It's wanting to protect you. So it's all trying its best. There's deep love underneath there.
Yeah, I know. My friends are like, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, I am so out of balance.
Yeah. So that's great. And let's thank the mind. The mind's going to the friends and the conversations and your own awareness and recognition. I mean, I'm not showing you anything you don't already know here. It's just mirroring of you and your own wisdom. But you're like, I'm out of balance. So that's what's coming up next is that thought, I'm out of balance. So breathe into that and welcome that recognition of, I'm out of balance.
Well, I'm having a bunch of thoughts arise. Should I go with those?
Yeah, go with what emerges. Yep.
Um, I mean, this stress of this COVID thing is really just this pattern, an old pattern, shutting down and pushing.
Okay, thank that. So the mind has brought out, hey, there's a pattern here. It's now been able to do pattern recognition, right? And go do, there's an old pattern. And the pattern,
Yeah.
and you articulated it beautifully, but I didn't get it. So if you can do it again, what's the pattern?
Tighten up, shut down, and push ahead.
Right, okay, good. We'll put that, tighten up and push ahead. Okay, excellent, Paula.
So I think it's just been brought to the fore here. I mean, way to the fore. I mean,
yeah, don't rush it. Just be with this. That was, this is unfolding beautifully. So bow to it. Bow to that part of you, probably the mind, who knows, right? That just did this pattern recognition and pointed out to you, hey, here you are again, tightening up and pushing ahead. Bow to that part and say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for connecting the dots for me. Mm-hmm. Aren't you wise? Isn't it kind of you to alert me? It's nice to have things looking out for me. See how it responds to that thanking.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so another part's kind of going, yup, nodding, yup, I do this. So
the mind saying, this is what I do. I see patterns and I say them.
Okay, very good. So agree with the mind. I agree with you, mind. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes the mind can get a little pissy. So I don't know if your mind's kind of, how's it delivering the message? Is it doing it in a shaking its finger at you, or is it doing it in an open-hearted way? How's it delivering it?
The message of the pattern or the message of its function?
However it's coming across.
Well, it's not pissy. It's just in service.
Okay, great. So really acknowledging that in service. Isn't that lovely that you have a mind in service to you? Mm-hmm. Like bow to it, thank it. Oftentimes these parts of ourselves don't get thanked, don't get acknowledged. So you're seeing it clearly and you're acknowledging it. See how it responds to that acknowledgement? My guess is, right, like myself included, heady and being up in the mind or pushing oneself forward, those are all probably old coping mechanisms. Mm-hmm. And they were probably really smart at the time that they got created. They fit those circumstances. So you really want to acknowledge that. Like, thank you for existing. Thank you for doing your MO. Thank you for learning how to tighten up and push ahead. And thank you, the mind that's able to observe all this and see it, right? And it's doing it, it's like you said, in service. It's in service to you, trying to keep you safe, trying to protect you. Mm-hmm. It loves you. Deep love here. Mm-hmm. Feel that deep love. Doesn't have to, but see if anything emerges as you really genuinely tap into that appreciation of its love for you.
Nothing's popping out.
The video cut out a little bit. I couldn't hear what you said.
I said nothing's popping up.
Okay, then let's just be with this. Just be in that delicious calm, right? Because the nervous system was all wired up, and look at how quickly by step focusing in here, you're able to get to a place of no thing. Bow to that. What's going on every time the eyes open? Notice what's going on there. That's something else poking in. I'm not making it wrong. I'm getting curious. I'm like, what's that? That's not no thing. That was something else.
I was curious. I heard the little tapping noises, and I thought, I wonder what she's drawing.
It's hard to draw no thing, so I write no thing. Yeah. Oh, so let's do this. Let's bow to the visual practitioner in you.
Okay.
Because there's a craftswoman in there who's curious about the craft, right? That aspect of you that's observing from that perspective of what's she doing and how's it happening. So let's bow to that. Because that's part of what's going on in here, and what you entered in with, right, is the coach within you, and given you're a visual practitioner, you'll probably end up doing it in some sort of visual way.
Well, interestingly, it wasn't really, I mean, it was partly the visual practitioner, but it was, the reason I like the visual practice is because it appeals to the part that delights the one who is delighted inside by it. You know how there's people who are just delighted by it?
Yes.
It was that. It wasn't so much about, it was just like, I get to be delighted by it and I don't have to do anything.
Oh, okay. Good. So that was just like the person being in the seat, right? You're usually on the other side. Did you say the child? Oh, sweet.
The child part, that it's like when people come up and go, oh my God, you know, they're so tickled and delighted, and they go, they remember being 5. I mean, it was that whole thing of like, you know, like that.
Sweet. So getting in touch with that child part. So just really feel into her. How cute is that?
Well, what's coming up is I almost feel like it's that child part that is the one who's doing the work in a way. And she's thinking of the fun images and the pretty colors. She's the one who makes it so that other people are delighted. And I mean, this making that video, I just feel like she was in like child labor camp.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, I'm sorry, I made you work so hard, but I had, you know, it's the feeling of the other one saying, I had to, I didn't know what else to do. I'm sorry, I pushed you so hard. I know it was grueling and it was brutal, and I'm sorry. And that's sort of where I am now. I want to.
Perfect.
I'm trying not to do it that. I don't want to. I know we can't do it this way going forward. I have to figure out a new way. I really get it that was too much.
I'm sorry I pushed you so hard. I will figure out a new way. What was the other thing? What else do you need to say to her?
I know, yeah, I know it was too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, that recognition. Good, excellent. See how she responds, the little child. What does she say? She might pout a little bit, or she might be okay. How is she?
Very forgiving.
Sweet.
She's like, she's like, well, I'm glad I got to come out. She said, I'm glad I got to come out, but I just don't, but I can't come out if it's going to be like that.
Yeah. Wise kid. Tell her, aren't you smart?
I mean, the thing that was amazing is that with making the videos, she got to come out even more because there's more time.
Mm-hmm.
She can just play and make things cute and funny and pretty, and so she liked it, except for the grueling part of it.
Okay, so there are parts of it. She's communicating with you. She's saying, psst, I kind of like some of that.
Yeah.
So what parts did she like?
She likes the colors, and she likes making little jokes. I mean, and she loved it. My client was delighted because it appealed to the child in my client. She's like, I got her. Somehow the kid in me was like, I knew she was going to get it. Like she felt, I don't know exactly, but she really liked being received by. She got my jokes, and almost like when a comedian comes out and the audience likes them. It was sort of like that.
Feeds you. Yeah, there's a two-way thing going on, a nice energetic. Yeah.
Yeah, so she likes getting to come out. It's just the push.
Yeah, exactly. This push is the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if that push side wants to say anything else or any other aspects of the mind, just whatever comes up next, the child's speaking its wisdom.
Uh-huh. The push side is saying sort of like, look, this was an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
This was an emergency. So everything else gets tough beans, basically. This was an emergency. And,
So let's go back with your now consciousness, your adult consciousness. This is adult business. This is not the child.
Okay.
We're going to keep that child safe and in child appropriate stuff. So your adult now consciousness, Paula, is going to interact with the push part. He's saying, this is an emergency and tough beans, kid, suck it up. So from your adult consciousness, first off, just acknowledge that, just be with that emergency part and the tough beans part, and just give space for it. Just meet it. And even though it can be challenging in some ways, thank it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for responding to the emergency. Thank you for being blood supply that sucks all the blood up to the certain priority organs that needs it. From your perspective, that's what needed to happen, and that's what you did. So thank it. And there's also a sweet no thank you in there too, right? There's the thank you and no thank you. No thank you to completely running the show. We need to negotiate these things. And just see how that goes over.
Well, I already had this. I mean, I don't know if it's a she or an it or a he, but it's like, look, I just needed those first 2 weeks. You got over the hurdle. Now you can handle it a different way now, but I need to take charge.
Okay. That's fair.
And I will take charge. The next time we get in a crisis, I will take charge again. And, or try to, but that's its job. And so I have more awareness now because I didn't know that's what I was doing at all. Okay. Now I do though.
Okay. So I hear you saying thank you. I get it that you kick in for the immediate. And so you kicked in for those first 2 weeks. And if this is authentic to you, then it's like, thanks, I'm okay with you. kicking in for those. I'll be more alert next time that I have that happen, because I'll have this as hindsight to know when I get that feeling, oh, that's what's going on. The emergency system is kicked in here.
Yes, I will know, and like in the future, I will negotiate. I didn't negotiate in this one because I didn't realize it till after it was over.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, see how it responds to the I can negotiate, because it was kind of like, I'm taking over.
No, it says I will try and take over, and but I will have to deal with you wanting to negotiate. That's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Don't expect me not to come. Don't expect me to come in. Don't expect me not to be who I am, which is, we need help. I'm going into overdrive.
If you were to ask it what is its name? I could guess, right? It might be the emergency system or something like that. How would it like to be referred to as?
Survival mode somehow.
Ah, perfect. Yep. Okay, good. So thank you to survival mode. Thank you, survival mode. And now it's handy because you've got a feeling and a name. So it's easier to identify aspects of consciousness when you can feel them and name them. So, okay, so survival mode, and survival mode is open for negotiation now. Might fight you on it. It's really going to hold its ground, right? But it's open to negotiating. Beautiful. Thank it for that. Now what unfolds? What's the giggling?
It's just this possibility. I mean, there's so much I want to do. And, maybe I can do it without going into survival mode and yesterday I got sick, which is, survive. If I don't learn how to do it, my system just breaks down, sort of.
Yep. Yep.
I had this earache and I was exhausted and I was like, what is going on? And I thought, I just need how to, and there's so much I want to do, and a lot of it I have to do,
So I'm going to stop you. So breathe into, maybe I can do without going into survival mode. Just give that a second. Wow, here's a new reality. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe instead of earache and driving myself so hair falls out and I get so stressed out and I get those chemistry running through my body, maybe there might be another way to do this, another feeling in the body, another mode. Just see what responds as you feel into that. See what survival mode says too. Maybe there's another mode.
Well, there is another mode. And it's
see what you can feel. Is that starting to emerge from your consciousness? It's starting to show itself a little bit. What do you notice? Where does it show up from?
Well, I'm trading these Alexander sessions with a friend of mine, and it's so funny. I don't even know if it's Alexander, whatever it is. You say to yourself, what is it? Where else do I seem a little bit easy? And I was like, the first time I was like, and I just got like the tip of my nose, my earlobes, and it's been so sweet to just see that there is ease that can.
Okay.
It's not anything that I'm particularly familiar with yet.
Right.
But
so ease is starting to show itself. You're starting to get a whiff of ease, and it's showing up through the nose and the ends of the ears.
My hands and my fingers. Like it was so interesting to me. My hands and my fingers. I love my hands and my fingers. I don't seem to hold any. There's like my shoulders. I would say that's a problem area, but I don't have that for my hands and my fingers. I'm so grateful. Because I use my hands and my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they feel, anyway, yeah, so I'm it's a new idea dawning, and she sort of is me.
So thank that, right? That's thank you, thank you. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you for giving me this feeling of ease, and the anchor points to feel it are there in my nose and my earlobes and those wonderful, wonderful hands that have steered you so well through your life and through your career.
Yeah.
And thank them and feel them. It's a familiarization process, right? These are kind of some new feelings. So just take a moment to feel into the nose and the earlobes and those beautiful hands. And the accompanying feeling of ease that resides in there. And see what unfolds from here. Being sure to thank and bow all this good stuff that's showing up for you.
Well, the other thing that's showing up is to remember to put my hand on my heart.
Okay, so those hands are showing you something to do. And part of what they're reminding and showing you what they do is putting the hand on the heart. So go ahead and do that. Follow their wisdom. There's another way to get yourself into ease, is settling down and placing the hand on the heart. There's a shorthand. Thank it. Thank it for that communication it just gave you. Just all the right brain communicating. That's how it does it, through these senses and symbols. You're just doing great with receiving its communication to you. And thank it right back. And just see this, we've come so far through this whole thing, so this in and of itself is just perfect. That's maybe what wants to show itself, but let's just see if there's, as you sit with that hand on the heart and in that ease, aware of your nose and your earlobes and the fingertips and the child and the survival mode who's backed off and is okay to negotiate, because that 2 weeks is done and now you're moving into a new phase. And it's okay to do it different. You don't have to go through it with survival mode. There's another mode, a more easeful mode. Now see what unfolds. And maybe even just turn your number 2 thing coming into the session was about your next it's, right? If your GRGF's going to take a while to come back online, what's the next thing? And you're looking at videos, looking at coaching, might be other things you're looking at. We're kind of directing the inquiry here, but I'm going to give it a go just in case. If it doesn't want to go there, I'll back off, but let's see what happens. As you come with the heart on the hands on the heart and that feeling of ease and negotiating with the survival mode, what emerges around this business and money and career stuff?
Well,
see what comes back. Don't go in your head. We're looking for the right brain message, not the left. Yeah, good. Another giggle. Good.
do you remember how the Grove, they always had a little person with their arm out like that going, let's go.
Yep. You got one of those?
And so that's been that pusher is like that, like it's out there, let's go. And what I got was, which I keep getting over and over again, but I really got that for this next phase of the path, because that little man with the pointing arrow and the arm, he's always at the beginning of the path. It's like, this is how we're going to go down the path. Let's go. And what I got was that this next path is different. And it's like the opposite. It's not up and out and push. It's down and in and receive. And yeah, there's something about just resting all the way inside and moving from there. Just rest all the way inside in my heart. And almost like allowing and allow the movement to emerge from there versus pushing it up and out. And it's actually not even, when I feel it, it's actually not even a road, like a path. It's actually a field that gets created that things precipitate in. I love that word. I just learned it really, or it just reoccurred to me. Things precipitate out of the field. Do you know that word? Can you hear me? Are you talking?
I might have hit my mute button by mistake.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sometimes it gets turned on by mistake. So yes, and I was saying I was what flashed through me was the double play on the word field, and field being a literal physical place and field, but field also being your energetic. You're the force field of you, right? Your vibration, your energetic, your being as opposed to your doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting is that I just love that image of all the water being already in the clouds and then it precipitates into rain, like whatever the conditions are that makes it solid. It's already in the clouds. It's like, I don't know. It's just,
well, you totally know. Your wisdom knows. Help me spell precipitate.
It's PRECIPITATE.
Precipitate the movement. Precipitate. What's the?
It's almost like the truth.
Ooh, oh, that's good. Oh, the back of my head just zing. That's where I get truth, back of my head.
It's like I don't have to like be on a journey towards it. Energize the field of it, and then it will precipitate into my life. It'll become physical.
Beautiful, Paula.
I mean, that's what I want to teach.
Yeah, best wisdom in the world you just tapped into. Good.
And I sort of was already told, if you're going to bring it forward, you're going to have to bring it forward by living it. So that you understand it. I mean, I sort of get it, but I haven't been able to. I've got this pusher thing that is that's, I guess, been in the way of my living it enough to embody it, so that I could,
Yep. It's authentic and not just up in the head.
Yeah.
Bow to that. That's bow to the incredible journey and the step-by-step you went through to really find your ease and to find the precipitation of truth through the energy field, that allowing. And you get there by going down and in and receiving. This isn't the make that happen, strategic planning. Those of us who are strategic planners, we have to lose our tendencies to just be one mode all the time. Okay, check with it and see if there's anything else that wants to be communicated at this point in time. Thank all these intelligences within you and around you that have colluded to help this happen and mirrored this to you in a even stronger way out of your asking. And see if there's any last things you can connect with your wisdom at any time. You don't need me, but just see if there's anything else for this particular connection that wants to come through.
Well, the only other, there's something else I want to say, and I'm glad to get the opportunity to tell you this in person, so to speak, because it's not anything else for me. It's just something I wanted to say. When you said that thing at the end, I put this in my note, but you might not have a chance to read it. You said something like, in truth. Do you remember? I don't remember.
Oh, yes, I did Paul Selig's Entombments. Do you want me to end with that?
No, I just want to tell you how moved I was by that, and how powerful. When you did that, I realized how powerful it is to see people in their truth, and that some of us we don't always see ourselves in our own truth, and it's a blessing to see people in their truth, and that I have that capacity, and it's time for me to, wow, she's doing it, I can do it too. I can do that too. And I loved it when you did that. You were so like, I'm like bashful around that in myself, and you were so unbashful. You were, it's all you've normalized.
Well, let's do it, because let's when we're doing it, let's do it we'll do it for each other, and then we'll also do it because it's being recorded, so we'll transmit to anybody else who's watching this that we see it in them. Okay, this is called wording, everybody. I've put in Paul Selig's Attunements. Paul Selig, you can look him up. He's awesome. I've been following his stuff for quite a while here. Just wanted to write he's got several books, but the first is the word. So I'll just write that up. Okay, here we go. I'll say them. I'll say it to you. You can say it to me, and we know we're saying it to everybody. So,
do I say it after you say it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, I'll follow you.
So we'll do, and he often does this in his workshops as well. You'll partner off and do the attunement. So,
okay, great. So excited.
So I know who you are in truth. Say it to me.
Yes. I'm receiving first.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yes. And I know who you are in truth.
I know what you are in truth.
I know what you are in truth.
I know how you serve in truth.
I know how you serve in truth.
You are free, you are free, you are free.
Free, you're free, you're free.
The next one is, I have come, I have come, I have come. You don't have to do the hands, but I have activated hands, so they like to move. Yeah.
I have come, I have come, I have come.
Behold, I make all things new.
Behold, I make all things new.
Yeah, and that's where we're at right now. Behold, I make all things new. His guides say it very strongly. Behold, I make all things new.
Behold, I make all things new.
Very Gandalf-like, yes. Okay. Yeah, can you feel that? Yeah, yeah. Woo!
Ah,
I am in the upper room.
I am in the upper realm.
I am in the upper room. Realm works too.
I am in the upper realm.
Room.
I'm in the upper room.
I am in the upper room. So what you're getting to with your energy field and precipitating the truth and all these attunements we've done, that's just put us in the upper room. You're already there. Your process already did you there.
I'm in the upper room.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thank you. A remarkable session. Awesome, Paula.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Anything you want to say else to conclude? That's a beautiful ending.
My deepest, deepest gratitude.
Mine right back to you. I appreciate you being willing to jump in and see what would emerge, and then for what emerged is beautiful. And that's going to be of great service to many people. Thank you.
I'm so glad. And it's Paul Selig?
Yep, Selig.
Okay.
And he's having to shift a lot of his stuff online right now, so there's a lot available. He's normally doing a lot of in-person travel, so it's a good time to catch Paul Selig. I'm glad you brought that up, and your wisdom was like, that's how we need to complete here. Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll send you your map. Take good care.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.